Hello, I'm Julie Rhodes, and I'm a customer of the Eat Food for Life farm. I feel like this farm has really saved my life, and I'd just like to tell you a little bit about my story. I was in my early 30s when I first started not feeling well. By that time, I had had 8 different surgeries, and my diet consisted a lot of processed foods. And by the age of 35, I got very ill after a hysterectomy, and it had actually shut off one of my kidneys, and I ended up having 3 surgeries on my kidneys. And I was on an antibiotic for 3.5 months solid. And at that time, they didn't tell you to take a probiotic, you just took the antibiotic. By the time I was 44, I had 11 more surgeries on my hands, my abdomen, my knees. I had a total knee replacement, and this is when my health really started going downhill. And I was only 44. I would have acid reflux so bad, chronic diarrhea. It was just horrible. I couldn't eat anything without having indigestion. By the time I was the age of 51, I started with hives, and we're not talking about little tiny hives, we're talking about great big hives. I would get them on my face so badly I was unrecognizable. The worst part was having them all over my body, especially on the bottoms of my feet, because I couldn't even walk when I had them. My feet were so thick and so sore. These hives hurt to the bone. I would have to crawl around my house to get around and have to crawl to get to my recliner just to relieve the pressure from my feet. I had seen 11 different doctors by this time, and 4 different allergists, 3 different rheumatologists, and nobody could help me. They just kept saying, yeah, something's brewing, but we don't know what. So finally I got to the point where I was so miserable I went to see a vascular doctor because of the chronic inflammation, and she diagnosed me with leukocytoclastic vasculitis, which is an inflammation of the small blood vessels. She put me on a chemotherapy medication and prednisone and allergy medications, thyroid medications, and other drugs to counteract the effects of the other medications. So I was on a total of 15 medications at the time. And this got me by for about 2 years. I was doing great. I was, exercising and lost weight and was doing well. And then after about 2 years, the hives started coming back a little bit at a time. So she put me on a stronger chemotherapy drug, which in turn upset my digestive system worse than it was before. And by the age of 53, I had had 5 more surgeries. My thumbs, my knees again, digestive tract. I had tumors removed from my bottom extremities, my lower extremities, and by the age of 54, I had broken my foot. And I had 2 surgeries on it to try to repair it, but it would not heal. And finally I got to the point where I was just done. I just didn't know what else to do. So I went to an integrative doctor who helped me diagnose, or I shouldn't say diagnose, but helped me realize that I had food sensitivities. And she asked me to stay off the foods I was sensitive to, and she told me, you need to drink raw whole milk, you need to eat grass-fed organic beef. These are the things that will help your body heal. So I started doing that, and after about 3 months, I felt so much better. Still wasn't completely over everything, but I was feeling so much better. And then I went back to my rheumatologist, or the vascular doctor, and I just asked her. I said, well, does food have anything to do with this? I said, I still have hives and stuff, and she's like, oh no, food has nothing to do with this. I can fix this with medication. And I didn't believe her because I had started feeling so much better and everything was diminishing. So I completely ignored what she said, and I went ahead and kept doing the clean diet. And organic vegetables and fruits, the raw whole milk really helped my digestive tract. I actually was missing some organisms that help me digest my food. So had I not started drinking the raw whole milk, I would have never gotten those organisms back to help me digest my food. Well, now it's been 2 years since I've done all that, started all this, and I am completely off all my medications except for the thyroid medication. We're still tweaking that, and I have my energy back. The joint pain is gone. I've started with the essential oils, which helps, and I just feel like this farm has saved my life. Dan and Nancy Kramer have helped me with any questions I've had, all the help that they have here at the farm. Any questions that you have, they can answer, or they will find the answer to. And I just have to say, God bless the Kramers, because if it wasn't for their farm, I just feel like I would be dead by now. So thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it and hope my story helps you. Thanks a lot.